So I'm doing this while Minnesota and Calgary are deadlocked at 2 behind me, so I'll keep an eye on that from this. Um, so the NHLPA rejects the NHL's offer of extending the CBA in exchange for allowing them to go to the Olympics. I found the entire idea bizarre, and I'm gonna state why I found the whole thing bizarre. So I'm going in, I work for a company that we're going to negotiations with our bosses next spring. I can't imagine a situation where they'd say, "Hey, why don't we continue this agreement if we let you do something you'd like to do?" Really? So you guys are going to offer us an olive branch, which is something we've already been doing. Like next week, I got a big Christmas party. Like saying, "Well, we'll let you have the Christmas party, but you got to agree to a 2-year extension of this." Well, no. So the funny thing is, this is why the NHLPA NHL fight drives me insane. The NHL owners, through Gary Bettman, and Gary Bettman is just a conduit for the owners. Gary Bettman is not some kind of a boss of anything. Bettman simply does what the owners say, and that's why the owners love him, because he takes all of the heat, all of the hatred, all of the booze, all of the vile, horrible things people have to say, they throw at Gary Bettman, so that the owners don't get that vitriol. That's why Bettman takes it, and he smiles, and he has no problem with it, because that's his job. The owners sat down and said, all right, we don't want to send the NHL players to the next Olympics. Sorry. It looks like Minnesota's taking a penalty, so. Anyways, but, I mean, when the NHL made this offer, they had to know the players were going to reject it. They knew the players were going to reject it. So now Bettman's the bad guy again, right? Oh, but that Bettman, yeah, he does what the owners tell him. If Bettman was really doing all kinds of rogue things and doing his own thing, the owners would have canned him years ago. He does as he's told. This entire, well, we'll go ahead and we'll give you this if we get this, is part of the chess game that happens so that when the next stoppage starts, and it's coming, and it's funny because Major League Baseball just settled. Apparently, the new CBA is all good to go. They've settled on a few minor items they're going to change. And it looks like some concessions went the players' way and some concessions went the owner's way. And it's fine. Everybody's fine. The NBA manages to avoid losing a lot of time and they get their shit straightened out. The NFL uh, does a very good job these days, too. The NHL is the only league left. Like, as hockey fans, do any of us believe there won't be a lockout next time this agreement's up? No. We lost a season, and we've lost 2 half seasons, almost half seasons. So, they don't have a problem with canceling games and shutting the whole league down. And they don't have a problem with what that does to us as fans. They don't have a problem with what that does to players. They don't have a problem with ending careers. The players don't have a problem with what that does to the fans either. Remember, it does take the form of a lockout. So it does make the owners look like the big giant pricks, and the players are the ones who just want to play hockey. We just want to play hockey, man. But they're also part of these negotiations. Both sides, as far as I'm concerned, are just as bad as the other. But this whole Olympics thing, of course, the NHLPA rejects it. But now that gives the NHL one up, where they can say, "Man, we tried. We tried to avoid this lockout, but look at the players. They wouldn't play ball. They wouldn't listen to us." And what I find baffling with the NHL is that you have revenue sharing and you have a salary cap where basically it's beneficial to the players and the owners to work together, and they do and they don't. You have these committees where they're together, but then when they get to negotiation tables, there are miles between the two. Miles. And I don't for the life of me understand it, because it hurts the game, it hurts their ability to make money, and it hurts the fans. I mean, there's a reason why Minnesota North Stars, Quebec Nordiques, and I'm always talking about the past, because, man, before all this lockout shit, and before all these talks about goaltenders, equipment, and all this. Every year there's something brand new that has to change, and I miss the way it was. I admit I miss the way it was when it was simple. And I agree the players should make their money. The players are definitely, due their money, and the owners should work with them to give it to them. But there's all this bureaucratic red tape and BS, and then there's this kind of public posturing. And that's what it is. I'm waiting for the NHLPA to come back with their version. I'm waiting for Donald Fair to dream up something, and maybe you guys can mention in the comments, what's the NHLPA going to do now to answer this? Where they're going to say, oh, well, we'll go ahead and agree to extending it if you give us this. And then the owners can say, oh, no, we won't give you that. Now, it might be a drop in escrow money. It might be a change in the way the salary cap's figured out. It might be something about backloaded contracts. Or maybe something where players say, we'll give you this if we get this. Because the posturing's already started. It's 2016. The agreement runs out in 2020, and we're already starting. This is it. This is the wonder that is the NHLPA and the NHL bosses and the fight that never ends. And it baffles me, and it upsets me, and it drives me insane. It is one thing that just drives me nuts. But I will say this, in regards to tonight, I've got my NHL hockey. It looks fantastic on this television, way up high. And, I was really impressed with how crystal clear satellite was. As a person who's now using TELUS Optic TV, this is equally as crystal clear, if not clearer, maybe? I don't know. It's when you're into HD and you're into the different, you're really splitting hairs at this point. I will say I am equally impressed with this as I was with my Shaw Direct. I'm happy. But yeah, this is going to be fun to watch for another 3 years until the next work stoppage. So, do you guys think that there'll be some kind of an alteration in the union ownership agreement in how they interact with one another? You're Gary Bettman tomorrow. What do you do to fix it? No, you can't put a team in Quebec. Okay, I'm wearing the Nordiques jersey because I want a team in Quebec as badly as you do. That's not what I'm asking. And I don't know, how does this get fixed? Just put on your thinking caps, and how does this get fixed? How does the broken relationship between the owners and the players get fixed? Because hiring Donald Fair by the players is not a signal that they want to fix things. It's a signal that they want to play hardball. And, because Donald Fair was known as a Major League Baseball guy, he played hardball. Now, yes, Major League Baseball has got through its share of problems, and now it is a league that makes a shit ton of money. Its players make a shit ton of money. The owners make a shit ton of money. There is just cash flow everywhere. The game is more popular now, I think, than it's ever been. And it's not fun to watch. Boring. But man, does it make money. And a 162-game schedule. And it seems like it's a mutually beneficial relationship between the owners and the players. I don't understand why hockey can't get there. Because as big as hockey is in Canada, the lockouts and strikes and the overall bitterness between the players and the owners, it has cost the NHL a lot of money. Not just during those strikes, but after too. Because American fans will find something else to do. They'll find something else to watch. Canadian fans did. Part of the reason that poker is still on TV is because during the lockout season, when there was no hockey, there was poker everywhere. And I went, you know what? I'll watch poker. And I watched poker that year. And I actually didn't mind it by the end of the year. I don't watch it anymore because I got hockey back. But we will find something else to do. So anyways, let me know what you think in the comments. These teams clearly don't like each other. Minnesota, having been division rivals with Calgary, Edmonton, and Vancouver, the rivalries are still there. I know it's still there between Vancouver and Minnesota as well. It's fun to watch. Definitely, this is the kind of thing that if it became a crossover series in the playoffs, it would be very interesting to watch. Because Minnesota has no love lost with any of the teams that they were in the division with. Okay. Again, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're coming through. And let me know, how does this get fixed? Or does it get fixed? Does it matter? Yep. Thanks for watching.